Now I'm going to try to play this.
Okay.
But basically, The Acolyte, which is the new Star Wars show that's out there, you've probably seen most of the clips that I'm gonna share with people. But there are several clips of the main actress referencing, making derogatory statements about white people. Actually, let me find that clip. I think Colin Rugg shared it. No, Acolyte white people. Here it is. Okay, so Acolyte is the new Star Wars whatever that nobody cares about anymore. Did you ever think, now I've to be clear, I never try to be like a fake fan. I didn't grow up a Star Wars guy. I was a Star Trek guy. I'm like, my dreams aren't getting crushed by Star Wars falling apart. Just so people know, where I'm not pretending to be, having my fandom crushed. But I think it's funny that now.
Uh-oh, you froze. But yeah, for me, it's similar where I just casually watch Star Wars, and I never got super obsessed or super into it, but I casually enjoyed it enough, the older ones, and I like the prequel trilogy the best. So
yeah. I hadn't even seen the original trilogy until maybe 5 years ago, and I thought, it was okay. Like, it's okay. It didn't age super well. It aged okay. I know I might offend Star Wars fans, but I'm just telling you, as someone who didn't see it when I was 8 and didn't love it.
I do think that the first and second of the OG ones are objectively the best. My favorite was just the third of
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, my favorite was just the third of the prequel trilogy, Revenge of the Sith. That was just my personal favorite because I love
Darth
those.
Maul.
Or Darth Vader. Like, yeah, Anakin.
Yeah, Darth Maul was in that one, right?
Oh, was he in that?
Revenge of the Sith. No, I'm getting it mixed up. See, I'm not a hardcore fan.
See, yeah, I don't remember. But
I remember Darth Maul and his double lightsaber thing. I
love that whole protagonist turns bad, gets corrupted, just gets a little bit too far into their mission to the point to where they turn bad. Those are some of my favorite archetypes for stuff. Another reason why I love Attack on Titan as well. So
yeah, so people know we're both casual fans of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's like when I hear this kind of crap, and so we're gonna deal with a little echo here. So just Melonie, just don't say anything.
Okay. I'll be a good woman and stay silent.
Yeah, let me see if I try to mute you once. All right, you're muted now. I'm just gonna share people a little bit of clips, and I'll bring you back.
In the beginning of I Am Legend, where he's like, first it was or maybe it's another dystopian movie, but it's like, first it was the zombies.
He had to kill that poor dog. You know that, like, that's how they effectively made white people really afraid during that movie, was that they killed the dog. You know what I mean?
Ha. White people, Melonie. White people.
How dare they like dogs?
Yeah, like again, did she say like white people bad? No, but you hear how she speaks like she's referring to white people as a monolith, and also using like in a negative way. Like, that's what white people care about, is their pets. Like,
if we would have said all the black people are all sad because they spilled Kool-Aid, then they would be mad.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, like, that is true. That would be an example.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Is there an echo? Okay.
I gotta see these parts.
Yeah, shit. Okay, sorry. Then there's this clip, and then I'll unshare the audio. So I'm just going to show everyone the clip, and then we'll discuss them.
Well, Anakin just killed a whole Death Star. How many people died on that? Well, Anakin just killed a whole Death Star. How many people died on
What? Anakin? And then he says it twice.
I did get in trouble for this answer at Star
You
Wars
got
Con.
heat.
I got heat.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it's so funny to me because it literally, as a person who's outside and just a fan coming in, that was what was so beautiful and interesting to me. You know, people have been talking to me online about how Darth Vader is such a bad person. It's very clear and it's very well established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions.
Yeah, people are saying in the comments too, like, oh, well, he just got mixed up with Anakin's and Luke's names. You don't do that twice in a row like that. That's
Yeah.
what he's saying. And if he's specifically wanting to talk about Anakin being bad, talk about how Anakin unalived children,
Yes, the
the
children.
younglings. Like, I feel like that's the best example.
Yeah, the younglings would be an example. I don't think that he's confusing. I mean, yes, he probably is confusing Anakin for Luke. I'm allowed to do that. Melonie's allowed to do that. You all are allowed to do that. Not this guy. He's he's an actor for freaking Star Wars. He's supposed to know. And by the way, in The Acolyte, the main character is a black woman. Shocking, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're shocked. Who has two mothers, who's gay mothers. The entire first episode, not a single white person has a speaking line, white male has a speaking line, except for a prisoner. And they have fire in space. For those of you that don't know, you can't have fire in space. There's no oxygen. What is it burning?
Wow. Apparently, the next episodes, I don't know, this is all rumor material, but somebody supposedly who had early access and saw it, they're going to introduce like pronouns and crap, and they're making the Force literally female.
Yes, correct. Yes, that is true. It is so wild to me. I don't even understand it. Like, it is, I mean, the fire in space thing, there's a line in where like Redditors will say in space everyone sees your face, even though you wouldn't see your face. Like all Hollywood, like if you look at an actual spacesuit, you can't see their face. The reflective, all you see is the reflective surface. But every space movie, even when they're wearing spacesuits, you can see their face, which is
Right.
wouldn't happen. There's that kind of stuff where like Hollywood's like, well, we paid for this pretty actor, so we want everyone to see their face. And then there's having fire in space. And then there's also this clip, which I won't play because of the stupid glitch, but essentially you have here this woman, just so people know who this woman is. She's in charge of Star Wars nowadays, or the Acolyte. She is Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant and was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant while he was forcing women to sleep with him. This is a woman that, in my opinion, knew about it all along.
Right.
Knew that she was grooming women for that. Knew that she knew what Harvey was doing, and it didn't matter. Now she got thanked for her silence by getting this job in Disney. And I'll just in the interview, they're laughing about this interviewer, who is obviously clearly gay, says, "Oh, is this the gayest Star Wars ever? Your show is being called the gayest Star Wars to ever exist." And then they have a huge laugh about, oh, gays, and like that's the advertising. That's it's like, oh, do you want to watch some gay LARPing? And then this chick who talks about white people like a monolith, like, oh, so who's this for? Gay black people? Okay, you have 7 viewers. Enjoy.
For real. It really is. I think I don't know if they think that but just that small handful of very loud and aggressive gay and LGBT people on Twitter, the hyper aggressive ones, the ones that are constantly pushing everything in your face, making everything they do with that, associated with that, be their entire identity. And so they think they're just, oh, yes, I'm going to make them all happy with this. It's not that many people at the end of the day. And yeah, if you keep promoting this stuff, pushing this stuff, then all the regular people who are sick of it are going to be tuned out.
Well, and, ultimately, 90% of people are not plugged in like we are. Not just you and I, but everyone watching the show right now.
Yep.
We don't see this crap. The normal people don't see this stupid interview. They just see, oh, there's a new Star Wars show, right? Every piece of marketing that I've seen related to this show is either look at how strong, independent black female, gay Star Wars, or white people. Am I right? So that's what I see. So when I see that, it's like, well, gee, I wonder if they spent any time on the actual show, Melonie. I wonder if they actually wrote a good show. And now it sounds like with the introduction of pronouns, it doesn't sound like it's going to be very good.
And I don't get the overlap between what they keep trying to do, and I think what the narrative of all of the LGBT stuff in general, they try to overlap it with Black people for some reason. They really push that hard. I think part of it is because they were wanting to I think they were almost inspired by the fact that, Black people we used to be slaves and all this stuff. Well, then
we're the same.
They just wanted to be like, oh, wait a minute, we're the same then because we're oppressed for our identity, when whatever people are doing in the bedroom isn't an identity in the first place. And I think, if anything, to compare that to an entire race that is not something that you can control, I just think that's insulting. Not to mention, this is one reason too why I think it's absolutely disrespectful that they put the brown, the black and brown on the pride flag, acting like, oh yeah, this is representing people of color. There are tons of Black people, Latinos, whatever all that's trying to represent, who are against the whole pride movement.
Yeah, you should go ask your average Black American what they think about gay people.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not judging Black folks for having their opinions. But go ahead and ask an actual Black person. Like I think Chappelle had a skit like that or something like that. Like, go ask actual Black folks go ask a Black male of what they think about gays. Just see how that goes. See what they think about transgender stuff. Your answer is not going to be quite what some people think.